Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, RPG Limit Break fans. We have another Spring Tournament 2021 pod matchup here tonight. We have the Chimera pod featuring two strong newer runners. Darindrise's been around for a little bit. Deadpulse making waves. I'm Caleb. I'm in the booth with Nightmare Phoenix, another one of our recent Duckling graduates. How you doing, Nightmare?
I'm great. I'm hyped. I am so excited to be in the booth. This is awesome.
This is going to be a wild ride. Folks may be looking at this party seeing Black Mage, Double Thief, Black Belt. Is this some sort of wonky draft? Kinda. So in pods, our runners have the opportunity to do a draft, a standard sort of I take one, you take two, I take the last one draft. Or they can opt for four forced, and that's what our runners decided to do tonight. So prior to the seed being rolled, they decided that they wanted to run with four forced, give them whatever the seed gives them, and what it gave them is what you're looking at. And as far as those class blessings go, courtesy of our tracker Shadowed Flames hanging out for us, keeping track of all the action behind the scenes, our black mages can equip fighter swords, which is pretty neat, but not that useful. Our black belts get plus 20 strength, which really only has value if we find an early Masa, because black belt strength doesn't really factor into their punching ability. And those thieves, they get a little extra MDef, 20 extra MDef to start the game with. That's not terrible. That means they're going to be a little bit more resistant to those zaps, those bracks, those glances when those start making their way towards our players and wherever they show up in this seed. Nightmare, we're working our way into Canaria. What kind of stuff are you looking for with this party?
With this party, I need something great. I need a great AoE spell, and kind of hoping to find. Oh well, I mean, take what you get, I guess. Ooh, gold plus fours. Did you see that for 27,000?
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
I was hoping for something like that, but not at that price and not this early.
So, Rub is better than it seems. Rub isn't a great spell. It's one of the lowest accuracy, if not the lowest accuracy early, like, instant kills. But
Yeah.
Demon Frog going to get our stream synced here. And it's effective against Garland.
That's which is great.
Yeah, it'll get us through toe.
Like all we got. But there was fast also on level 1, which is really nice to see early on. You're not going to be searching for it in the late game. And worst comes to worst, just start fasting everybody and beat Garland down if Rub doesn't work.
Yeah, and we do have some, like, fast at level 1 is convenient because with black belt parties, you're often hunting for fast. So to be able to have it out the gate and basically have unlimited charges of it is really nice to have. And there's the imps with damage poison, so our Thief MDef isn't going to help us there. And the good backup strat we have is Confusion. So if there's not a sweeper in Provoca, like a Lit 2, Ice 2, something even like that, we could use Confusion on the pirates to have them just beat themselves up, which is 10 out of 10, super fun to watch.
It looks like Daryn's running over to check some boxes.
It's a bold strategy, Nightmare. We'll see how it pays out for him as Deadpulse jumps right back into the Toph Chamber and is going to try to rub out Garland again. There rubs the charm. Classic Gamer question in chat. Who rolled this seed? There's an Ice -1 sword for our Black Mage to equip. The runners requested that Davis, DVS, notoriously unlucky racer, roll this seed because they want to get that Davis experience. Everybody knows how gross a Danny seed can be, but Davis wants to share the love and just say, look what I can do. And
looks like our king gave us a canal and the princess gave us a chime.
Yeah, canal's good. Chime, you don't want to dive early sky with this party.
This is going to be a bad time in Mirage, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what level 2 magic can save us here. If there's even if it's just like a Fire 2, Lightning 2, something to start sweeping through enemies and get us some early XP, get us up to like level 8, level 9, so we can feel a little bit comfortable peeking our head into Marsh Cave. Deadpulse right away going to check the level 2 black magic here in Provoca. And winner, we've got Brain and Back. Bane and Brack, not Brain and Back. Brain and Back is something
Brain
else.
and Back? That sounds like a Chili's restaurant meal.
Doctor said I need a brachiotomy. All right, so Bane will take care of the pirates pretty effectively. Early Brack gives us a cheeky attempt on Kraken and Tia should we want to go that route, but we'll see. Getting that wonderful improved turn order for Deadpulse, but we finally get the Bane out, and
some of the pirates have been working out.
Those pirates have like better MDef than like my level 30 fighters have. But Daryn with the cheeky heads up play popping into Matoya's and finds himself a Thor Hammer.
Ooh. That'll take care of the pirates easy. No need for Bane.
Mm-hmm. And Thor Hammer was one of the incentivized pieces of gear last spring tournament, and it got a lot of like shade thrown at it because you love to see it early, you hate to see it after doing like a long fetch quest and you go to talk to the people in the Fane and they give you a Thor Hammer.
Yeah.
So when we were designing the flags for this year's spring tournament, we were very deliberate on which gear we were incentivizing, and we settled on the white shirt and power gauntlet. Those two items will be incentivized throughout the entire tournament. And I like those items. They're not the best. A lot of people call them duds, but they at least have greater utility towards the end game, whereas Thor Hammer really is great in the beginning and kind of just like, okay, whatever. Like, if you get a Thor Hammer and like a free box, like you're never even probably going to use it out of like Mirage or something. But Rod from the Pirates. How's that hit you, Nightmare?
Well, it sounds like we're going to be probably traveling down to Crescent, seeing what the sages have, and then if they don't have anything really fantastic, maybe take a couple levels, hit Volcano, hit the Armory at least, or make that long walk over to Marsh.
Ooh, and there's Deadpulse's first time running into the poison damage imps, so he gets that gross news. Gloves +4, nothing to bat the eye at. Those are some thick gloves. I would be buying them. It's like 5 extra absorb, and it'll make that wood armor feel like chain armor. If the wood armor is not like terrible, of course. So I like darindrise in this early game with that Thor Hammer. Going to have a slight advantage over Deadpulse's execution and general, like sort of like Deadpulse is a guy that comes into a seed with a plan. It usually involves early ordeals. But we already got pretty massive route divergence here. Darindrise going to say, I got this Thor Hammer. I'm going to take the river system. And that's something that would probably terrify Deadpulse with just level 2 Bane and level 1 Confusion. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with the rivers. He's not even taking the free rivers right here by Dwarf Cave.
Nah, he walked all the way back to Cranaria to stock up on a couple cabins because Provoca did not have anything good.
And Deadpulse's going to make a detour here, hoping to find something good, and just gets about $1,400. So, and Darindrise wielding the hammer of Thor, making quick work of that fish. And jumps up to level 5 and going to build a cabin on the little boathouse. It's pretty nice.
Still boggles my mind how they fit a cabin on that little dinky canoe.
Well, see, in my mind, the overworld is like a D&D like hex map where each square is like a couple miles. So it's like in canon, like they probably like pulled the little canoe to shore and, you know,
because there's pop up a cabin.
yeah, you know, and Caribs with Blaze.
Oh, Caribs have never been good in any of these feeds I've run for this spring tournament. They have always been nasty.
Mm-hmm. But he makes it, and we're still looking for a shop item. Nothing doing here in Crescent Lake, and there's the sweet spells. Lit 3, Ice 3, and Temper. So Fast and Temper under level 4 feels pretty good. Ice and Lightning, pretty good offsetting sweepers. Nothing really doing here in level 6. Dango would be happy to see that cake, and the shop item is not here in Elfland. 800 gold houses aren't the worst.
Hey, Sage has a boat.
And yeah, Daryn with the good sort of like intuitive routing. So that boat will pop up at Elfland. So Deadpulse is going to have to come back this way to get his ship. So Darindrise with the advantage here, routing, and with that early Thor Hammer, going to be able to. There's another poison.
And Deadpulse is making his way. Looks like back to the sages.
Yeah, we're gonna high five here on the river system real soon.
I mean, definitely checking the sage would be great, but since I was already over there, I'd probably go check out Marsh real fast. Hopefully I won't run into anything horrible in there.
Yeah.
He says as he knocks on wood.
Marsh Cave is a divisive cave, as is the Ice Cave. Ice Cave is like grown-up Marsh Cave as far as like enemy types and why people hate it. Lots of different enemy types, lots of different enemies can show up in different formations. You have packs down there that can roll 3 to 4 enemy types, and then you have the spike tiles on top of it. You're required to hit 4 of the 5 spike tiles if you don't have warp, 5 of the 5 spike tiles if you want to check all the boxes looking for our incentivized item. As Marsh and Ice Cave, both incentive. We have Ship and Canal. It's likely that Marsh and Ice are required, but with Chime and Rod in hand, the puzzle's starting to come together. We have Waterfall, we have Ordeals to go to, so I wonder if Deadpulse will just nope out of the Inner Sea and head toward Ordeals as he's wont to do. And
Deadpulse is a rather scary racer. He was in the latest Duckling Derby, and he could have taken a night off 2 nights in a row for his races and still would have come out on top, it seems. He just showed no mercy the entire Derby.
Yeah, Deadpulse is a guy that has come out of essentially nowhere. I mean, that's what like the Duck Derby can do. Like these, the firsthand from being in the Duckling.
Yeah.
Like these ducks, they get good quick.
I thought I was making great progression, and then here comes like all these other people just screaming past me on their way to the top.
And Scorpions with Cremate. Deadpool's trying to work a little Crescent Lake grind, and Daryn already out the Inner Sea going to check out the spike tiles in Earth, and we're going to get our first indication whether we're working with A sides or B sides. And Darindrise, no slouch himself, showed up just before last spring tournament took place in the Winter 2020 Duckling Derby, and last summer he sort of made a splash for himself in the Iron Goal Heavy Metal League, and it looks like we're working with B-sides here. Mad Pony's not an A-side encounter, so quote-unquote good news if we find something that we can kill. Ghosts and Mad Ponies, one we can kill, one we don't want to even see ever again, because ghosts are gross.
May as well go touch some boxes and make some money.
Mm-hmm. And Deadpulse, with that thief in front, still can't work not getting ambushed all the time. And is going to find that Scorpion's script soon, if he hasn't seen it already.
And there it is.
So, Demon Frog, our restreamer, pointing out that Daryn just selling everything that he can to get his hands on early game money, and you can't blame him. Like, money is so important in the first 30 minutes of the seed. Like, you not only do you need money for the inevitable shop item, you need houses, you need heal pots, you need spells. With this party, you only need spells for 1, so it's not terrible. But you still would love to see some early money, especially with how expensive those gold bracelets are. And enemies just rolled up. Yeah, gonna have a bad time. Bane not gonna be super effective on the Wizards. They got a pretty good MDef.
Well, it looks like we are trying to just get a couple levels anywhere we can on both sides right now.
I wonder how much longer. So it looks like we're just grinding for that second encounter to get these Bulls and Scorpions to get something. But I would love to see a cheeky dive into the volcano. Like, we're not far. We could probably get there using just a couple cabins, and then get some money, check 2 spike tiles, get the information about A sides or B sides. And Daryn's coming back into the Inner Sea as Deadpulse makes his way to his boat in Elfland. So we're route convergence once again here at Elfland.
Lots of high fives about to go on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with that Lightning 3 and Ice 3, it's gonna make this early game a little more palatable once we start getting a little more levels on that Black Mage. That Black Mage is our most important Light Warrior at the moment. And we're switching to Rub. Ogre's got pretty good MDef. Ogre's got like level 25 fighter MDef. if I remember right. It's something crazy.
So Deadpulse is over here, probably gonna get some armor, maybe? No? Spells? Camping gear? Anything to make his life easier.
Yeah. And he's got a decent amount of money. Four, like almost $5,000's enough to definitely jumpstart your running and thinking twice about Zap. I love the Zap spell. I'm in a minority in the community of people that are really positive on Zap.
If it rolls early, it's good to take because you can wipe a whole crew of people real fast if you're lucky.
Yeah,
here goes Daryn down into the marsh.
100% if you're lucky. Zap, a really low accuracy AoE instant kill that is time elemental, which is why I love it. No enemy in the game, other than Chaos, resists time. Now, you start getting up in MDef, that thing's going to be a 3 in 256 chance, but these early game packs, like I remember rolling running in a seed that Wildham created for the heavy, like the hardcore challenge that we were running on Saturdays before the tournament, and it was when he debuted the Lich's Revenge, and when you would go turn in your key items, the NPCs turned into undead enemies. Like
I remember that.
The adamant, when you turned that in, the guy turned into a ghost, and it was like gating progression, and all I had was level 1 Zap, and I got through. Or maybe it wasn't that hardcore. Maybe it was my Iron Goal race with Spell Zap, but Zap can be very, very effective.
We have both runners pretty much covering the same exact ground at the same time. Daryn just a little bit ahead of Deadpulse, and they didn't find anything but money really on the top floor. So now they're gonna jump down, and
Daryn holding on to that money, walking out of here, and Deadpulse took the reset. So Deadpulse takes a quick jump up into marsh progression lead, if you want to call it that.
But with that quick save, I mean, Daryn, I would have taken that reset immediately and just walked back down again.
He really wanted that money, and I don't think we can undersell Daryn's affinity for early game money, because that seems to be the tail of the race right now in the first 16 minutes here. Power stick -2. That'll get us some money. There's nice money. 13 grand in box. Just about.
And they're seconds behind each other now, within each other, I should say. And Saber T and Catman.
That's a pretty gross encounter to see, and it's gating the
wow.
It's gating the item. So,
TNT in the incentive box. Who would have guessed?
So for those, if this is your first spring tournament match you're watching, that might look like an incentive marsh box. However, in these flags, we are working with random incentive dungeon locations. So yes, we have Marsh Cave incentivized. And there's that early MDef paying off for Deadpulse with those scums with Squint, as Knight the Thief just sort of ignores those nasty looks from the scums, and Daryn gets his TNT here. So I lost my train of thought. Random incentive in dungeons. So the Marsh key item can be in any box within the Marsh Cave except the Marsh Lock. So if there is an option for that, but we did not incentivize the Marsh Locked boxes. So if you were to turn on the Marsh Locked incentive random incentive location and turned off regular Marsh, the incentivized item would be in one of those 3 locked rooms with boxes at the bottom of Marsh. So that's sort of the way the flag works. It just takes all the boxes in the dungeon randomly puts the incentivized item in the one box, and our runner's got to find it. So it creates the feeling of loose items, but they're not actually loose. Like, once you have that item from the dungeon, you don't need to open any more boxes. There's no Schrodinger's ribbon. Because there's only one white shirt, there's only one power gauntlet. So if you find white shirt, power gauntlet, or anything that gives you a jingle when you open a box, you can stop opening boxes if you want. A lot of runners keep going, and because they're digging out ribbons, they're digging out in-game gear, they're looking for pieces of the puzzle to solve the Topher problem.
But lately, it's been looking like, because the incentive item has been shuffled around into the different dungeons, taking a fighter because you got to touch a bunch of boxes, it's a really good idea, because you're bound to find something good that the fighter can use to make your life so much easier.
Yeah, and we got Classic Gamer 76 curious about the katana, because we got 2 thieves, and there are 2 katanas in this game, so we could get some thief ninja sort of blender modes going here and have some nice melee support for our black belt once that black belt gets high enough level.
And a question from the chat. Yeah, definitely 4 forced. And blessings on those. The thief have plus 20 MDef. Not great. Black belt has plus 20 strength, and then the black mage can use fighter swords. So it's an interesting setup, and so far they're making it work.
And Daryn, a runner after my own heart, pings the Hooray Dwarf twice as we get a cube. And Deadpulse, you're dead to me, bro. You just scuffed the Hooray Dwarf. Like, he was right in your face, and you gave him the Barry Sanders and just boop.
Yeah.
So, Deadpulse, we need to talk, bro.
I'm on Team Slay the Dwarf. He stepped in front of me one too many times. I'm like, you know what? You need to go away now.
Oh, Cheese Nader corrected me. Deadpulse said hi on the way, and that's good enough. As long as you say hi at least once. So, with that cube from Narek, we have had the chime for quite a while. All of a sudden, all of Mirage Sky's on the table.
The question is, how confident do you feel getting into Mirage right now?
Oh, not at all. And Deadpulse is going to go look for a shot of confidence here in the Earth Cave with some early levels, but isn't going to get the information that he wants with the mad ponies and ghosts hanging out on the spike tiles. And I don't remember what Daryn found on the Earth tile. I don't remember it being anything remarkable. And we're going to try to Lightning 3 a pack of ghosts, and nope, there goes.
Yep, it's time to start touching boxes.
Thank you, Ailmarkin in chat, my co-op partner from Team Caleb, letting us know, reminding me that it was the punchy wizards. So thank you, Ale. Always good when chat's hanging out, giving us information, because we have our wonderful tracker shadowed, and Deadpulse gets his own version of Free Lightning 2 with that Zeus gauntlet. So about 15 minutes after Daryn found the Thor Hammer, Deadpulse gets his own Lightning 2. So, and there's those punchy wizards.
There's a lot of them too.
It's a lot of wizards. So definitely a B-side encounters. 7 wizards. Ugh, shudders.
It doesn't look like they have anything besides just punch strats. So fortunately, they weren't that scary.
Sometimes strats is scary enough.
This is true. I'm still holding out hope for some really nasty.
They got 2 hits, and they just 1-2 punched Clarb the black belt. So.
Oh, and I don't think our pulse is going to make it out. Nope.
Yeah. So they've got multiple hits, and they're crit happy. So Deadpulse going back in, going to grab that Zeus gauntlet and probably nope out of Earth.
That would probably be the right choice. Me, on the other hand, I would be stubborn and keep running my head into this wall multiple times.
I think that's one of the things that the ways I used to play when I was newer to the game. I was headstrong. I was like, no, we're gonna make this work. All I need is RNG on my side. And then over the past couple years, I learned that RNG is never on your side. Sometimes it ignores you and lets you get what you want, but it's never on your team.
No.
And there's times to sort of push through when it's required, like when it's those Catmin Saberteeth blocking an incentivized item. That's the time to punch through. But there's also times to learn. It's the gambler, right? You gotta know when to hold, know when to fold them. And right now, we gotta fold those. We gotta fold those wizards and move on, because, as Burt Reynolds would say, you shouldn't waste your time looking for a better grind. And you also shouldn't waste your time trying to get a grind off the ground if it's not going to work. And wizards aren't really worth it.
Oh, definitely not.
Burt Reynolds, of course, the community member, not the esteemed actor. That'd be amazing if, like,
That would have been great.
Burt Reynolds with an S had, like, pull quotes for FFR.
So it looks like Daryn is probably headed to Volcano. He might go to Ice.
This might be an overworld encounter table. No, you're right. We're going to Volcano. Maybe I thought he was going to check the 4 different
some overworld grind spots,
because there's Crescent Lake is an intersection of 4 different encounter zones, and if we got that first encounter right off the hard reset, we could spam it in 4 different camping spots and look for peds or
Speaking
something.
of grabbing camping supplies, we got Deadpulse pretty much on Daryn's heels, stopping by Crescent to supply up, and I think he too will be headed to Volcano or back to the boat.
I think this is the time where Deadpulse makes his patented early Ordeals play.
Yeah, I mean, because Ordeals, and then you got Waterfall right there. Fairly free checks. The only bad thing is you got to get there. And then likely you're going to get sent right back to where you just came from.
Those scorpions with cremate are brutal. And Deadpulse, are we? We might be sailing to the ice dock, the vanilla ice dock, yeah. I was going to say, we're either going to ice or we're going to Mirage. But ice it is, so...
I've been playing Randomizer too long that I forgot where the vanilla ice dock is. There it is. Found it.
Oh, Deadpulse, I like this. Deadpulse using the ice dock to get to the volcano. Okay.
Much faster, less rivers. It's. I learned the other day that sea encounters much more kind than river encounters.
Yeah, the encounter table on the seas is a much lower encounter rate. I forget the exact number. Someone in chat, I'm sure, will correct me and give me the exact number. But sea, you're not going to... I think it's half the encounter rate of the overworld is what you'll see in the sea. But yeah, we had Daryn was in Volcano, noped out, and now Deadpulse is into the Volcano with decent charges. Really wants to get levels on that black belt, because that black belt is just flesh and bone right now. There's no meat on him.
Well, he got some levels, but can he? He's gonna try and get out with them.
We're gonna save that level 9. Oh, Gargoyles, literally no one's favorite enemy. They resist like every elemental, like
except for the good old sword to the face.
Yeah, fire, lightning, all that crap. They all resist it. So when we collected signups for the spring tournament, we asked everyone that signed up what their favorite enemy was. Some community members answered that question in good faith, and Daryn making the sky play. I love it. So everyone, for the most part, answered an actual enemy. There were some cheeky answers. People were referencing concepts as their favorite enemies, such as race anxiety, or Daryn finds sandwiches in the desert. Normally you wouldn't want to eat something covered in sand, but you'll take those worms.
I mean, when your black belt's just skin and bones, you'll take what you get.
And you're hungry. So he gets level 9 across the party, and we're gonna build a house. So get those and now we're hunting. We're looking for... Oh no, we found ankles. That's not the sandwich we want to eat. And no one said Gargoyles is their favorite enemy. So
Deadpulse finding a 4-pack of worms.
That, I believe, armory is number 1 on Lord Fizzlebeef's top 10 list of good experience encounter grind tiles.
Yeah, bad news, bad level for it.
Yeah,
not the right time.
If we had and there's the Kareeves with Glance. So Kareeves with the super gross script as darindrise gets a 2-pack of sandwiches, gets that that McDouble combo, the 2 for 2.
What's that? The cheeseburger and the chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, when you
there is that one. Yeah, you put them together and
it's pretty good. I've done it before. It's
a thing you can do.
It's way better if you're hungry.
Yeah, for $3. If you got $3, do it. If you're hungry. If you're not, get something real.
My pro tip: if you want to hack the McDonald's menu, don't do that. Get a McDouble. If you're a fan of if you're a fan of the Big Mac, get a McDouble. Ask them to hold the ketchup and mustard, to add mac sauce, and to add lettuce, and you'll get yourself a Big Mac. They'll upcharge you probably about like 60-70 cents for the lettuce and the mac sauce, but a McDouble runs like $1.50, $2. So for under $3, you're getting yourself a Big Mac, a sandwich that retails for like $5 individually. So, and you don't have to deal with that extra piece of bread in the middle. So you can also do that with a quarter pounder or a double quarter pounder cheese to get yourself a Big Mac. So there's Caleb's McDonald hacks. Follow me for more recipes on Instagram.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention something about that.
It's sandwich.
Still on the way for his Instagram, of course. Here we go.
And
Bane, some Frosties. Ooh,
we're smoking those sandwiches. I like a smoked meat sandwich.
You know what? It's at this time, yeah.
A nice pulled pork or smoked chicken. A little bit of like a sweet, like sort of a molassesy barbecue sauce on it. Super good. Daryn,
looking at molasses. Deadpulse suddenly slowed down by these wraiths.
Yeah, Ice Cave. Yes.
Yeah, that's reset.
It's a brave play with this kit that we have. 1 black caster and a black belt. It's a spooky place to be, and wraiths, they always hit so hard.
And there's always so many of them.
Mm-hmm. But Daryn, advantage here for Daryn with the early sandwich grind, and now we've got the thieves down. It's time to just swing that ice -1 sword on that black mage. I love it. Using the class boons and letting Caleb the black mage swing away with that ice sword. I love it.
Looks like the Daryn's black belt has some nunchucks. Would possibly.
And I mean that's also that's a heads up play. He's got the +20 strength. So until that black belt starts to come online with his punches, it's not a terrible play. You know? So you can see he's hitting 2 hits for 63. That's probably more than he would be punching for at level 14. He might be getting 4 hits for like 20-30 damage. So
and he's starting to get through and make some more headway. So he's getting that early grind. So if he does go back into Volcano, he's gonna end up finding that 4-pack of worms, and he's just gonna go to town.
We drifted a little bit too far south. We found Ranklows where we were looking for worms.
Oops.
So I love this place. So Daryn, using the overworld encounter grind, this is something we've seen a lot of the veteran runners do. I did commentary with Lord Fizzlebeef for our restreamer Demon Frogs race with Edgeworth. So 2 veteran community members used this same strategy to get their levels, but they were doing it across the mountains there in Lefane, which is just a slightly different encounter zone, but same sort of enemies. So you're looking for worms, you're looking for T-Rexes, you're looking for Tyros. All of them very juicy EXP encounters, and super heads up play from Daryn. You love to see it.
I remember back in my very early days playing this game for the first time ever when I was a wee tot, and getting stranded in the desert, where I would take a step in any direction, encounter something big, mean, scary, and die.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never played the game again until high school.
Question from chat got us now online asking, are the thieves still getting XP? No, so the thieves being without any HP are not getting any XP. So there is a flag in I believe on the beta site of the randomizer that allows downed NPC or downed PCs to gain XP while they're resting on the job. So you're not penalized for losing a black belt in the middle of a party grind off of an errant punch or something. So, yeah, Daryn adapting super well to this seed, and Deadpulse trying to make this ice cave work.
He found a pack of wyverns. I don't recall if he wiped out to it or what happened, but he's on his way back down there, so he's probably thinking he might be able to get through.
So I would imagine Daryn's going to do this probably until we hit 21 on the black belt. That's when the black belt starts to come online, and we can make a play of Mirage proper. I mean, he might do this till 32, but you can see the ambush there is not good. We can't lose that black belt. The black mage not going to be able to wake him back up, and we'll have to abandon it or reset. But good turn order there for Daryn. Survives the ambush, and we're gonna chug some heal pots and carry on. Deadpulse approaching the room where Dangu likes to leave all his banana peels. I fall down in here so much.
Yeah, I was just going to say the number of times that I've slipped and fallen into a hole early is embarrassing. Ooh, nachos for Deadpulse.
That's not a terrible grind if we had the ability to kill it, but we don't. So nachos in the freezer. We don't have a microwave to cook them up or to reheat them with any sort of heat. We're just gonna throw more ice at them, and nobody likes to eat cold nachos. They get all soggy and limp. Can't have that.
Oh, Wizard +3. That's not bad.
All through the Winter Dab tournament where Deadpulse came out on top. So the flags in Winter Dab were a little bit different. It was randomized treasures, and Zombie D's is a pretty sweet find here, but unfortunately looks like they rolled up. And there was frequently a bingo square to successfully confuse carry, which was tricky because it all depended on where confused landed. But Deadpulse had like a radar for finding wizard sticks, which weren't even guaranteed to exist in the seed. So
Deadpulse picking up a ribbon 4 in ice.
Ribbon +4 is massive.
That's gonna keep somebody alive a little bit.
And
he's gonna take that and run probably.
If this ice cave ends up being required, Daryn should find that. But if Deadpulse gets like womped out of here with like a white shirt or a power gauntlet, Daryn may miss that entirely.
Floater. Not necessary, but definitely makes life a lot easier and a lot faster. And Deadpulse, rightly so, grabbing it and leaving.
Yeah, I would imagine Deadpulse is going to immediately
go turn that in. Oh yeah,
go turn that in. Talk to Sarda, maybe pop around for some information about the vendor item, but he may start the hunt for an overworld grind to get some early levels here. So we may see competing sandwich stations.
I don't know. I haven't actually been able to watch a lot of Deadpulse's races, but there's also the possibility that he might go back and see if he can take on those worms or something a little bit softer in Volcano.
Oh, and
Daryn
is ready for the solo all-you-can-eat sandwich buffet. So I had it wrong. I thought we were going to get group levels on that black mage and the black belt, but I think we got enough. So now it's time to party. So 72 heal pots, a stack of cabins, and a couple houses. We're gonna be here for a bit.
Was I seeing that right? Did Daryn renounce auto sort?
Yeah, it looks like Daryn does have auto sort renounced. Auto sort, a newer feature in the past year. The randomizer shifts the heal pots to always land in the first slot. Super handy flag, but it's not. It's a flag that we turn on, but there's a fun % flag that enables you to turn it off for personal preference. And Daryn not rocking with the auto sort, so menuing the old-fashioned way. So a problem that Daryn might run into is once that black belt starts getting higher levels, those worms don't have the highest morale, so he might start scaring them off once he starts getting up to closer to the 30s. But that's that's a problem for future Daryn, and I'm sure he'll adjust as soon as they start fleeing. So, as expected, Deadpulse going to visit Sarda, going to see what he wants to eat while Deadpulse is out running errands. Going to pick up some food for him, and Deadpulse is going to get some
herb from
herbs.
Sarda.
It's going to get some herbs to help prepare it. So, nice fresh herb opportunities. I like to use cilantro. Cilantro's good. Cilantro's fascinating to me because there's that genetic marker that, for some people, makes cilantro taste like soap.
I've heard this a lot.
Mm-hmm. My buddy's wife has it. Like whenever we have like a friend dinner and I'm doing like Tex-Mex, I have to make like a thing of pico with cilantro and a thing of pico without it so she can enjoy it.
And let's see, for delivering herb, the prince gives us a crystal.
All right,
so to walk out, go drop by Matoya real fast, maybe.
Yeah,
see what she gives us.
Reverse vanilla. So instead of crystal to herb, we're doing herb to crystal.
I wanted to say real fast on that cilantro thing. I was a chef for a long time, and the number of people who can't tell the difference between cilantro and parsley, staggering.
Did we just become best friends, Nightmare Phoenix?
I think we did.
So all of that for a piece of tail and Deadpulse gets that Thor Hammer.
That tail's not going to be really handy at all.
It will if we find a katana after and we get our grind done and everything. So Deadpulse.
Well, at that point, the thieves are going to be glorified meat shields.
I mean,
the katana might not do them that much good.
There's value in bringing those thieves back up with the level 1 fast and temper. Should things go sideways, we have extra temper casts, extra fast casts that we could bring to the party. So I wouldn't discount those ninjas promoting yet.
But yep, here you were totally right. Deadpulse doing the attempting a sandwich grind.
Deadpulse just checking encounter 1. This could hurt him if we don't. Okay, he goes to encounter 2 and finds the worms. So he's got to feel good about this, but probably.
Unfortunately, Daryn has quite a bit of time ahead of him on this grind.
A couple things in Deadpulse's favor. He's got a few more key items turned in with that crystal, the herb, the tail, and the floater in the airship. So that's like probably an extra 20-30% extra XP that he's going to be getting per fight. So
that is going to speed up Deadpulse's grind significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, red anglos aren't going to do it.
He's got to consistently find them though, and Daryn's unlocked that sandwich cheat code.
Up, down, and there you go.
Yeah. Left, right, reset. Here we go. Question from chat from Asher1611. Is he power cycling? Yes, it looks like it's the second encounter off the hard reset right here on the side of Mirage. We'll get you some worms. Some sandwiches. So you were a chef in a past life. What kind of food you cook? As our
I've kind of done a little bit of everything. I started with bar food. And then I moved on to kind of sort of mass production. By the way, adamant at the Oasis.
I was going to say, it's talking about mass production. It's rare that adamant, that rare mineral, you can buy so many of them right here from Underhill in the desert.
Well, and then I moved on to basically a company called Freshly. Worked there for a bit. Making thousands of meals a day.
Awesome. And we got a question from chat from Crabcakes. Where was Floater? Deadpulse found the floater in a very sort of gross ice cave. Deadpulse spent a good amount of time in ice trying to get down there and found the floater on the top floor of all places. The entire time Deadpulse was struggling in ice cave, Daryn was wandering around the desert eating sandwiches covered in sand.
Daryn back to supplying, and Deadpulse is checking to see what the robot has.
Yep. I missed what level Daryn stopped at with the black belt.
I'm right there with you. I missed it. But we're going to get a gold +4.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So Daryn in a good spot here. I mean, the sad thing about the sandwich grind is it's not very lucrative for gold. As you can see, he's almost like broke again. But
Yeah, going to ice will solve some of that problem.
Yeah, if
This
we
was,
go to ice. So, and
this
there's
is
the
4-4, Thatcher.
both of our runners running 4/4. The bonuses, the thieves were given an extra 20 MDef, black belts given an extra 20 strength, and black mages given fighter swords. So fighter swords we thought was not going to be that valuable, but Daryn really used that to great effect. Swinging an ice -1 really helped jump start the grind that he got going with the sandwiches.
Oxial from the robot.
That's pretty good. Like, that's not gonna lie, that's probably one of the best places to find Oxio, short of the vendor item here in Onrack.
Absolutely. I love getting those lazy finds. And Daryn headed to Ordeal.
So we're 44 minutes in. We have this less than ideal party. How do you feel about you role play as Deadpulse? How do you feel about your current situation?
I kind of feel. I mean, I have a ship.
Mm-hmm.
I have a boat, and
you're role playing as Deadpulse. Deadpulse has an airship.
That's what I meant to say. Sorry. I have the canoe, and I have the airship. Those are the ship and boat I meant. But I must feel like it's 44 minutes in. The guy I'm racing, he's been here for a while. He knows this game. He's probably right on my tail, if not ahead of me. So I'm probably trying to think of the fastest way to get levels, and he's taking some nightmare grinds. And I don't know what I would be doing after this.
Daryn, you see him here pausing. He just got the power gauntlet.
Ooh.
And the mud gold box. That is our incentivized item here in Ordeals. And Daryn, gonna keep it. Gonna go through the pillar maze, open these remaining boxes, but Ordeal's not required.
Nope. But then again, having the Bach might make things a little bit safer, especially if black belt just ends up going down, or if you want to try to squeak past with a low level black belt.
Yeah, I mean, Demon Frog pointing out there's 2 tiles here to check beyond the pillar maze, and we're still looking for ribbons. We're still looking for maybe a weapon for those thieves to swing, Masa, Katana, something. And Deadpulse has found a safe Gasty.
Ooh, Defender's Sword. You know what? A bonk and a Defender? That's not a bad grab.
That's huge. Defense Sword is invaluable without having access to white magic. It's that and the white shirt are the only way we're going to get evasion magic on this party, and the Defense Sword and a black belt is an iconic combination, especially if we know Daryn's, if he makes it to Ice Cave, which is Ice Cave not necessarily required. We could find key in either Sea Shrine or Sky Cave, and the key could be locking the loot away, and that's go mode. So
yeah. Using the defense
could be floaterless for Daryn.
The Defense Sword definitely does cast Ruse. The white shirt in Viz 2. Yep. I'm calling it now. I'm thinking the white shirt's behind the slab, as it always is for me.
I've seen too many slab keys that just feel bad. And Deadpulse's black belt get embodied by Frost Gators. They a lot of XP, but they punch so hard.
Fortunately, Deadpulse takes to the sky, gets a quick save in there, and flies off.
Mm-hmm.
Probably go find a nice little clinic to pick everyone up in.
We might pause and turn in the adamant as Daryn picks up his adamant. So our runner's doing very different things, but still landing on doing the same thing around the same time. And
Smith hammering the key out of that adamant.
So if this is loot, Deadpulse is in go mode, and Daryn could be floaterless. This is going to be an interesting finish to the seed as we're sort of in that second act of the seed, and now we're Gonna start cleaning it up, figuring out what we're doing.
Crown.
Plot
Well,
thickens.
it looks like we're gonna go speed bump Astos real fast.
Yep.
You already spoke to the Hooray Dwarf once earlier, Lord of the Synth.
Daryn actually tagged him twice on his way in and out of Dwarf Cave when we had the TNT. Deadpulse only one Hooray Dwarf. It's fine. One's enough as long as you're doing at least once. Hooray Dwarf, best dwarf. It's canon. Next to Jim the Dwarf. Jim the Dwarf lives in Melmond, which we haven't been to Melmond yet. We have no idea what level 5 black magic holds, but Jim the Dwarf.
I think it has warp. I
yeah,
vaguely recall that.
Yeah, Deadpulse has it. Deadpulse scuffed Jim the Dwarf. You hate to see it. A lot of people scuff Jim the Dwarf. Nobody knows about Jim the Dwarf. I just love that there's a dwarf named Jim. It's the most canon name for a dwarf ever. And it's a white shirt +2 here. So
Wow.
Sky.
No set this time.
Sky and
C?
Yes, I was gonna say Oxiel.
You wouldn't have been quite wrong.
My brain was buffering. Daryn gonna peek his head here into the Dwarven Armory, something Deadpulse did not do.
And he's at least going to come out with a lot of money. And that's about it.
That's more.
And he's going to keep it. Because I think he wants, I think he might want another couple gold bracelets.
Hello, Whizvamp Zombie Ds that punch super hard. Don't have the most HP I've ever seen on a Whizvamp.
But they do have great accuracy as they just body the black belt.
Improved turn order. For who? So that's good if we can get it off the ground. Oh, let's get away from these damn poison imps.
We need to get away from these imps. These imps are going to ruin everything. And they got Quad X. Ow.
The imps are not safe. Thanks, Entroper. And low rolls from the Lightning 3 not doing us any favors. But we get rid of one of the Whizvamps.
Daryn grabbing his crown.
So Daryn with the white shirt and the crown from this series of plays is better than just a white shirt. Because that means we can get to evasion cap on our black belt in 2 rounds. And if we promote, we can be tempering and fasting with those ninjas onto the black belt while our black mage and black belt are flexing the white shirt a defense sword. So it's viable strategy for the end game, but we'll see what happens as Deadpulse hits 24. But at what cost? Lost his whole party. Now that we're down to 1 light warrior, we might start looking for more tiles. Maybe go to Topher. I see what you're doing, Deadpulse. Picking up what you're putting.
Daryn gonna go visit those imps real fast as well.
Yeah, I mean he might be in a better spot with 4 light warriors because those thieves can soak punches from Whizvamps and at least deflect hits. Ooh, and he gets an ambush. Thief doing his job. Deadpulse back to northwest. Says, fine, I'll come kill some zombies and dragons. And vampires. It gets ambushed. So the tale of 2 encounters here.
There's been so much high-fiving here, you'd think these 2 racers were playing patty cake. But they're currently on the same exact grind tile.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable given the setups that we've had. And Deadpulse with just the black belt up front is not getting the turn order that he needs. So Daryn has a decision to make. Do we dive Sky, Sea, or the Ice Cave? It's not a good decision to make.
Well, we're approaching an hour almost, and no orbs have been lit yet.
Mm-hmm. And Deadpulse is going to stick to this. This is essentially a Topher fight, so I like prioritizing the Whizvamp kill first.
Yeah, they're the real punchy guys.
Yeah.
Looks like Daryn might be headed to
Looks
Waterfall.
Yeah, see, he didn't do waterfall. You're right. So that'll get his Oxyel. So
Yeah, he's likely gonna hit Waterfall, come right back out, and go straight into Onrak and show Kraken what's up.
in theory,
I think he's more than strong enough to handle it, I believe.
yeah. I mean, the black belt doesn't need to be 32, but it definitely helps. I love Darren's strategy of keeping the thief up front. It's going to help getting it, and not just like avoiding the black belt getting punched, but it's really going to help with ambushes, and ambushes can be brutal.
And with that thief up front, you just send him to run, and then when you get down to your black mage, throw a YOLO spell out there just in case.
And Deadpulse got this fight. 2 zombies, 2 whiz vamps. Lost turn order the first round. Everyone punched before him. We got the whiz, so we barely get through this fight, but
we're up to 28 though. He's gonna walk out and pop up a house and do it again probably.
He's getting like 2 levels of fight, which is awesome, but it's very prone to turn order, like subject to turn order. Like if he gets turn order, it's great. He's gonna get 2 levels. If he loses turn, then we can't do this fight. And
yep, he's immediately out. What we might do is go bring up one of the thieves just to avoid getting smacked by an ambush.
Yep, and that's what it looks like we're doing. So good call there, Nightmare Phoenix.
Woohoo! I'm learning.
You're learning.
I'm still very new to this. Only been doing it for 4 months, 5 months. I'm not sure.
That's not bad, man. You're doing great. And there's the free Oxyale, and Deadpulse abandons another grind and is just sort of like I don't want to say it's like spinning his wheels, because he's definitely making progress. He's got a key item advantage over Daryn, but it feels like there's a little more tilt coming from Deadpulse's run as compared to Daryn's. Like Daryn seems to have like his feet underneath him, where Deadpulse is still sort of, it feels like he's still like reacting to what the seed's throwing at him instead of having a plan to take down the seed like Daryn is.
Daryn has found a path, whereas Deadpulse is still traipsing through the muck.
But I like this play from Deadpulse. We're going to come into the volcano, maybe play with those worms again, see what we can do. And push comes to shove, we're just blowing right past. We're gonna kill Carrie, and we're just to feel like we're getting progress, to light that orb, and just sort of use the dive through the volcano to clear our thoughts, focus on the next step, and make adjustments as we need to. And
keep going, please.
I was gonna say, maybe check some spike tiles here with the Agama tile, and I doubt we'll see the red D tile, but yeah.
I was going to ask, what would be the better play in Daryn's case right now? Go Kraken floor first, or visit the mermaids? And he's going Kraken.
Yeah, there's varying schools of thought on it. Like, I think it depends on what level you are. If you're lower level than you should be, or you don't have like a clear kill strategy for Kraken, definitely mermaids. You might get something that helps that a little bit easier. Thank you, Archmage Salamar, with the subscription. Appreciate that. If you've got a kill plan for Kraken, definitely Kraken side first, because you might find the item, and then you're good. You don't need to come back in here. So Daryn hoping to find the key item here on Kraken side, and Deadpulse found a suitable grind, mage and fighters. So we might live here on the Agama tile for a little bit.
So a quick recap for the people just showing up. I wouldn't know where to start. So everything has been awful, and now here we are.
The early game was atrocious. There was no damaging sweeper in the first 2 levels. We're running with 4 forced. The thieves get extra M-def. The black belt gets extra strength, which is meaningless now that black belt's punching. The black mage gets access to fighter swords. We were working with Rub and Bane in the early game. We do have fast and temper under level 4. We rubbed out Garland. King and Princess gave us the canal and the chime. We walked over to Bicky, and Bicky gave us the rod. So, still without any clear direction where to go, darindrise walked or took his canoe down to Crescent because he made a cheeky Matoya check and got a Thor Hammer, and that sort of set the early game for darindrise. And from the Sages, he got the ship, went to both runners sort of converged on Marsh around the same time. And once he got the Marsh item, which was
the Marsh item was the TNT.
The TNT, which led to the cube, Daryn left the inner sea. Deadpulse stayed within the inner sea and sort of struggled in the ice cave for a bit until he found the floater there. Daryn, while Deadpulse struggling in the ice cave, took a sandwich grind in the desert outside Mirage. Deadpulse has been doing the floater checks, doing Sarda, sort of following those fetches, did the waterfall.
Daryn pulling a slab out of Kraken's side.
Mm-hmm. So we're still looking for a loot. We know that the loot is either behind that slab, or it's in Sky Cave. We've seen the incentive out of every other location at this point.
They could be cheeky and throw the bottle in that mix too. But with the way that this seed has rolled, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens.
Yeah, we found the bonk. It was in notes.
Ordeals.
It was in the Temple of Ordeals. The white shirt was from Astos, which came from the crown, which was locked in Canaria. The key came from the adamant. The adamant was for sale in the caravan, and lobsters have crack.
That's not nice.
That's not good. And darindrise does not have a ribbon. Deadpulse found a ribbon, and they also have stone poison, so Topher's gonna be fun. So lobsters never ever roll in kind in spring tournament flags.
So my mind just went to the what's the worst that could happen, and I just realized if that loot is behind that bottle,
mm-hmm.
that makes Ice Cave necessary, which means the momentum sways heavily back over to Deadpulse.
Yeah, because I don't think Daryn goes from sea to Ice Cave. I think he goes from sea to sky.
And down goes Carrie.
Nice. So Deadpulse, first runner on stream to light an orb right here at the 1 hour mark. 1 hour for a first orb in these flags does not feel great. But with the adversity that our runners have faced, it's a pretty good time. And Deadpulse going to go to Ordeals and hope to find a loot, but it's going to get a power gauntlet. If he pushes past, so the power gauntlet is in the linked chest, so if he grabs it there and just resets out like, I don't need it, I got a lot of tempers, he will miss out on a defense sword, which was in Ordeals past the pillar maze.
Looks like Daryn's going straight to where that slab was. Or was it slab? Yes, I think.
So Deadpulse level 32 will probably want to hit 42 before Topher with this party with no white magic to support us. And just basically needing to one-shot Topher with heal pots. We're going to want to be 42. But that's a problem for future Deadpulse. We got to deal with the problems of current Deadpulse. And right now it's what he does here after he fights these mugs. It's a decision time for Deadpulse.
He keeps on trucking.
We're going to keep trucking, so he will get that defense sword. And Daryn gets...
Gonna take that slab, hop out, and save?
Yep, because we don't have our black belt anymore. So our black belt fell down, so we're going to pop out, go to OnRack, go to the party member store, reinflate that black belt, and come back in here for the carry, or for the Kraken kill.
I think Deadpulse is still in the back of his mind looking for a grind tile that he can absolutely use that will just net him massive amounts of XP in such a short time.
Daryn instinctively going to the graveyard. Didn't realize that he was dragging the Light Warriors with him.
Well, he needs to refertilize the crops there.
Yeah, the clinic in Onrak is really good at putting Light Warriors back together again. I feel like it's probably the most used clinic outside of Canaria.
I personally prefer Crescent. However, their prices are rather exorbitant.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I feel like you're never going to visit the. I don't have any data for this, so it's all made up anyway, right? You're going to be dealing with, like, maybe Elfland. You get your resurrections for. So Deadpulse gets the power gauntlet, gets the defense sword, and gets.
Now he's got to make it back.
So it's a little bit of time loss, but there's consolation there in the defense sword and power gauntlet. So, but yeah, I just think Canary and Onrak have the most used clinics.
Yeah,
the highest trafficked clinics, where no one goes to the clinic in Gaia, no one goes to the clinic in Lefane, really.
Then again, Lefane only recently got a clinic. Well, I mean, and an inn.
It's been there since for like a couple years now.
Still nobody goes.
If you're new to the randomizer, yeah, absolutely. In the vanilla game, there's not an inn, there's not a clinic in Lefane. In the randomizer, we have a flag called Lefanish Hospitality, which puts those into the town. Makes it real nice.
Yeah, they just need to work on their advertising.
There's even a flag now for Melmondish Hospitality, which rebuilds the clinic in Melmond.
For real fun, you can rebuild the clinic and have zombies attack you in the dirt. It's great. Deadpool stepping into the Mirage Tower for the first time.
So we got a little bit of runner divergence here. And you could also send the vampire to attack another different town. So, like, you could walk into Provoca in the item shop in Energon. Pretty wild ride. So free gold plus 4 bracelet, Deadpulse hunting for that loot. Now, if Daryn's slab turns into the loot, that, like, we talk about those balances shifting back and forth constantly through this race. That's another one that would, if Daryn goes to ice after Sky.
Yes. But right now, where Deadpulse is still going, if Deadpulse finds the loot here, or finds the
Deadpulse,
bottle, that's really what it's coming down to, because it's looking like Mirage or bust for Daryn.
Yeah, I mean, he still has ice on the table though, so
yeah, he can absolutely go do ice, but he has to sail over there slowly.
Yeah,
whereas,
I mean,
but he has the levels to blow through it real fast.
It's not. I don't think it's that much farther away from Onrak than Mirage is, but I don't know if the tile counts.
I'm just bad at sailing. It takes me a while.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but Daryn gonna give us our first look here at Kraken as Deadpulse dealing with these gross catmen and saber-tees.
You are correct.
Thieves punching, black belt defensing.
Uh-oh.
And black belt defensing some more. And time to start feeding some breakfast.
Kraken not needed.
Was super hungry. Just like, you got breakfast sandwiches?
Thanks.
Is that bagels?
They're a little sandy, but pulled them not too far from here.
Sandwich.
So you are correct, Earthwing. Daryn has renounced auto sort.
Man, I love bagels. All right, Daryn.
Now I want pizza bagels. Thank you, Caleb.
I mean, when pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime. Daryn. Now, if Daryn comes to Sky and loot's just sitting here and it's not behind the bottle,
that's it. Daryn's in go.
Yeah, Daryn's in go mode without the floater. So it's interesting because floaterless with these flags isn't necessarily slow. So,
no, not at all.
Yeah. But we're going to come back to the Matoya dock. We're going to revisit Canaria, coming in through the back door, and resupply. Now he's not in the Daryn. I really want Daryn to go to Ice Cave, but if Deadpulse finds the loot, like I'm conflicted.
I'm right there with you. I want Daryn to go to the ice cave. I want him to get into an airship, and I want him to sail across in the skies.
But if it's here in Mirage, I want him to come to Mirage because, like, if he gets the airship, it's gonna slow him down because he's gonna do all the other checks that Deadpulse has already done. He's gonna get the tail. He's gonna follow those fetches, and it's just gonna be, that herb crystal mess from Sarda that just ultimately leads to tail.
And honestly, I feel like Daryn's next move should be to go to the Mirage.
Yeah, and I mean, Mirage is a very, very, very quick sail from Matoya. It's literally like
just north and
like
east
25 like sea encounters. It feels like, or sea tiles.
Or west. Like I said, I'm bad with my sailing directions. I get lost all the time.
Just up and to the right, and you'll get right to Sky. And Daryn might actually be hoping for floaterless at this point, picking up those gold +4 bracelets across the board now. In a good spot with his gear, as we're really seeing a difference between Deadpulse running the 2-man, Black Belt Black Mage, which is a scary 2-man to run, and Daryn leaning into the Thief party, using them for their run chance and their ability to avoid ambushes. And it's sort of been helping with some of, like, when we've seen them on like the same encounters, and Deadpulse will be ambushed and Daryn won't be. Oh, wrong button. Thank you. Mild panic attack. Daryn back to his favorite sandwich station.
Found a Pro Cape +3. That's a little bit more armor.
And Daryn gets ahead of himself. Tries to save it inside Mirage. Oh no.
Oh, it's the bottle in Mirage.
And it's in one of like the grossest boxes, the vanilla Banesword box.
Which means Daryn is pretty much on his way to Mirage right now. He's gotta go find that, and he's gonna find it and then be wondering, why did I never check ice?
So, upsides for Daryn, when he gets that information, luckily it's not like on Sky 3. Mirage 1 and 2 are pretty quick checks. It's not like the top of Sky 3, so he can ignore all those boxes.
Just like Deadpulse is currently doing.
Yep. We can knock out. So we do Ice Cave, right? We canoe down. We can knock out Volcano. That's like a minute and a half. If we just run down there fast, punch her, and then leave. And then we get our floater. We fly down. We turn in the bottle. We get our loot, and we immediately just go to Earth Cave. And it's a couple minutes behind Deadpulse, but it's not the end of the world. I'm worried, and he should get that ribbon that Deadpulse found in the 6-pack. So just because Daryn's done all this floaterless does not mean he's that far behind. He does have an advantage with those thieves helping out. So, man, what a race this has been.
Daryn found out that he just spent all that money buying gold bracelets for everybody to find a free one in the chest, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna pretend I never saw that.
Yeah, it doesn't quite match his outfits. It's fine. It's a different brand. Yeah, it's not his brand of gold bracelet.
It was a cheap knockoff.
So the ultimate kick in the pants is if that bottle turns into the ruby, and the slab is the loot. But either way, like, both of our runners, or because Deadpulse doesn't have the slab yet.
No,
so there's a wrinkle.
But Deadpulse is also hasn't been into OnRack yet either.
Yeah, so there's a wrinkle. Interesting.
I totally forgot, but that kind of just evened the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, Daryn, I thought you were just going to beeline right for the Banesword box, something that nobody does, but took that one extra step south, and I thought for sure we were going to see Banesword first. But
here's Tia 1.
That's a nice
534.
7 hits, 534. You hate to see the black belt jump out ahead of the fast, but now it should be party time. This black belt fasted.
And done.
Yeah, 13 hits, 679. That will
Just
take care of
wanted to soften it up before the coup de grace.
And up to level 37, so with all of C to go, and hey, we're going to get a free sandwich on the way out of here. With all of C to go, we might see that black belt get closer to 40 just by taking fights. So
Deadpulse going immediately to turn in, well, not quite immediately. Oh, hey, look, Nuke at level 7.
And
go turn in that bottle and see what the fairy has been hoarding away from us.
And there's
Pro
Rings. So
and they're going pretty high too.
Yeah, Pro Rings +4 is really good. That's like 12 absorb. That's almost like chain armor. So Black Mage learnable nuke is nice. It's a nice to have. It's not. It's fine.
Yeah.
We got a couple shots. That Black Mage is level 33. It's probably got it's got 5 shots of it, so that'll work.
Daryn now making his way to.
Oh, so Daryn's still without ribbons. Feeling that gear insecurity. Gonna clear Sky 3. So lose a little bit of time here, but it could pay out if he finds a ribbon. Scott, and there's a katana. Bog standard
general
katana.
Plain old vanilla katana.
Yeah, so with the warp, this isn't terrible. You know, he's gonna get a couple fights here, decent encounters for XP, get some group levels, but 5 hits, 59 damage. It's time to run.
Chicken. Barry has chicken.
So we get chicken.
At least I got chicken.
Pond chicken, not the most ideal way to get your chicken. I would recommend getting. You would prefer to find air chilled chicken. You don't really want to get the water chilled chicken because it's kind of gross and slimy. Doesn't really have the best flavor. Sometimes it's a little woody.
At the same time, Deadpulse did not fill up on sandwiches like Daryn did, so you might be hungry.
Yeah, I mean, if some fairy gave you a chicken from the bottom of a pond, you wouldn't probably be very hungry.
So yes, that is a new fun percent, which randomizes what the Titan's favorite food is.
Yep,
and
it's one of my favorite fun percent flags.
I'm still on the minerals. I'm working my way through.
I have mine set for random everything.
My favorite one so far has been asphalt, with a runner-up of granite.
Nice. I haven't got too many of the mineral choices because I just have it randomized amongst all of them. And my favorite's been hot dog. Just hot dog. Or like the crayons is good.
Is crayons one? I didn't think the Titan was a Marine.
Crayons and paste and glue.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff. Titan can be a kindergartner.
All right, we got the Bridge of Destiny. Are we gonna see our other kind of chicken?
The robot chicken.
The robot variety.
It's you wouldn't mind seeing it. Like,
I'd be real nice. I mean,
yeah, we could use a quick little level jump start. I don't know if we have we could probably take it down. We've got fast, we got tempers, we've got bonk and defense sword.
Lackeys, I approve that message.
Fire hydrant's pretty good to see, but we're running from everything, so Daryn needs to get in a big hurry to Ice Cave, so we're done done taking fights that we don't have to take. Level 38 now for Deadpulse's Black Belt as Daryn just gets blown up with thunder steps before Tiamat. This could be problematic. Daryn needing to change his thunderwear here.
He's trying to heal up with Oxyale. Unfortunately, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah, so we're seeing some nerves here. I would love to see Daryn pop that bottle and just move those heals over one. Get it a little bit easier for him, but we're seeing some nerves jitters. coming out of Daryn here, because now we have to think on the fly. We have to, what are we doing? And we're gonna equip some swords so at least they can do something. Making sure that defense sword is equipped, or not equipped, but landed on the black belt. We're gonna fight defense sword.
If I'm not mistaken, the slab is in the Dangwood chest, as I saw it described earlier today.
I know the Dangwood boxes as being the rooms underneath the stairs there. I'm doing the hand motions like Gregory Puff.
Like over there, yeah, generally.
I thought they were in that room. I thought these were the dang boxes, because it's the water room. That's the room that has the water spike tile. But I could be mistaken. I wasn't actually watching that race. I just remember, or that co-op practice. But we're getting there with Daryn. We've got the defense up. 4 hits, 98. We're going to start power bonking probably. No, we're just going to keep punching through.
Just hold A and pray.
Oh boy, we did not get full evasion stacks. We just got punched for 3 hits. So we might need to, just going to drink and punch. Oh, clutched it out. 6 hits, 405 damage. Darindrise through Tiamat, level 28 on the black belt. So
Deadpulse grabbing his slap at the same time. So it looks like it may have turned into a race.
Yeah, Daryn 10 levels behind has to go to. We're gonna use the opportunity of nope, just go. It looked like we were gonna try to grind a little bit and then opted out and said no, we got to go to Ice Cave. We got to go there now. Get that floater, and yeah. So Daryn, Ice Cave. I'm sure we'll stop into provoke. We'll pick that Black Mage back up for warp. And Deadpulse will have to go from here to Melmon, which is...
Melmon, yeah.
It's not that far of a flight, the airship.
Well, you don't have to worry about encounters on the way, so it's pretty quick and breezy.
Yeah, it's not like having to fly to Lefane or Gaia from Melmon or Earth Cave or something like that. So it's just a quick straight shot south, basically.
And now it's Deadpulse's turn for a crack, and
we're
going to get some tenderized squid.
It's one of the best ways to prepare it. Again, jumps the gun ahead of the fast, gets 606 damage out, and hold comes out. But
that's where the ribbon is on the black belt, or the black mage, I believe. And a nuke finishes it.
So that level 7 nuke paying out 39 now.
Not quite the cooking method I'm familiar with. Tenderize and then microwave it, but okay, whatever works.
It's always strange to microwave seafood.
Yeah,
full strategy.
especially squid. It's rubbery. Not a big fan.
Yeah, that's why we gotta massage. And Deadpool's gonna do Earth before Melmon. I like this play.
Just gonna run through and speed bump. Daryn on his way, also gonna effectively speed bump this entire cave.
Yeah, the big difference here is gonna be the black belt levels as compared, because Daryn doesn't know that bottle or the slab is the key. Like, we might see Daryn do the Sarda fetch chain still. So
very true. A Lightning Fart has a question. Does Daryn have enough heal pots? And I don't recall him stopping at a store on the way.
He should be fine to get in and out of here, because he has way better levels than Deadpulse did when he was here.
He also has plenty of warp spells to dip in and dip out if he needs to.
Yeah, and the levels also give him the spell charges, the HP. This should be fine.
It's gonna have a quick plate of nachos.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. Oh, but those nachos have so much HP. And absorb if the black belt's still not one punching them.
Speaking of one punch, everyone say hello, goodbye, vampire.
Check the closet. He's got a nice knife there. And so we saw, I don't know what the wyverns had, but we saw Deadpulse bounce off this encounter.
Well, there was also 4 of them when Deadpulse ran into him, so...
Yeah. And there's a heal pot if he needed one. And still just gets the one wyvern, so... And Deadpulse already onto the Lich floor now. Just blowing through the Earth Cave.
Yeah, exactly what I would do. Not even bother with boxes. I have a ribbon. That's all I need. We're good. Let's go.
Yeah. Daryn down here will get this ribbon +4 and breathe a sigh of relief that one of his light warriors will be protected against all of the elements in the game. And here comes Lich.
Everyone say hi, Lich. And goodbye, Lich. You missed your chance.
And there's the ribbon. So
123, we got Deadpulse with all of his orbs lit.
Deadpulse wants some more levels, so
Hey, it looks like he's
punchy wizards. Didn't you see the punchy wizards? Did we forget that these were punchy wizards?
I don't know if Deadpulse ever find out.
Yeah, he found out in the southern room.
Yep. And he's like, you know what? That's not worth it.
I remember you.
We're just gonna go translate this rock and go. And Daryn with his floater finally.
A 124 floater.
24.
It's just a kick in the gut.
He has one goal: go down, grab it, and then vamoose.
Especially because and now there's bad feelings probably seeping into Darren's brain. Like, oh my god, this thing was here this whole time, not even behind a fetch quest. Like,
just sitting here in a box.
So Daryn doing a wonderful job up to this point, and we're gonna see him start blitzing through some stuff. I would love to see him get some more levels, but
honestly, I think after finding that floater, he's probably a little bit more shaken than he was earlier, because Deadpulse could have been here already, and could be way ahead of him, and that's rough.
Yeah, well, I mean, Darren's a good runner, and this isn't his first spring tournament.
Oh no.
1v1s play out a lot differently in group races. It's very rare that you see the pickup races and the Discord sort of happen in a way that it's a 1v1. It's generally a group race, so it's a different sort of mentality there. And I think what we're seeing, the real difference between these runs is Darren's early game was so strong that it afforded him the opportunity to make these risky plays that he did early, like going all the way to Mirage Desert and taking that sandwich grind when he did. And Deadpulse sort of floundering about in the early game and waiting to find his stride. And once he hits it, Deadpulse is one of the fastest in the game right now. So
yeah, Deadpulse picking up our jingle, which is our fun percent multi-instrumentalist Sarah. So now we got our loot. Deadpulse is in go mode. He's just stocking up for the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Have to go do some quick math.
Double checking our heal pots. We need to buy 23 of them. And Daryn gonna beeline for the bottle. So we'll get his chicken.
Yep.
And so at least he's not gonna do the startup check. So he's not gonna get distracted by Matoya and the Elf Prince and the tail.
He's likely
and he saved in the air too, so this might just be a reset out. Oh, if we're buying heal pots, probably not.
Well, you can pick those up almost anywhere.
Oh, it looks like first encounter off the hard reset in Topher is worms, so
hey, those look a little bit familiar.
And there's
all right, there's the ruby. He's gonna warp out.
All right,
pick up nuke.
And we got Thunder in chat saying Deadpulse doesn't know if Deadpulse picked up the defense sword. I saw him go through the pillar maze in Ordeals. I don't see how he would have missed it unless he
just happened to start at the other end and
yeah, if he reset out or just decided what, I don't need to open any of these boxes. Oh, JLo for me, he did not get the defense sword, so.
But he does have some. Well, no, never mind. Daryn did pick up that ribbon as well.
Yeah, so this is gonna be interesting. We don't have any life magic. We don't have any healing magic. This is gonna be resource management 101 Topher. We have 99 heal, but Daryn, go back. Oh, did Daryn not translate his slab?
Negative.
Okay, so Daryn with his chicken.
Gonna go tap the volcano a couple times.
So Daryn learned how to drive the airship from Aylmark in School of Airship Flying. It's
Another graduate.
yeah.
Not sure what he's doing.
You have to just
Well, he does need to go check out Carrie, so he's like, it's on my way. May as well walk through Volcano real fast.
Yeah. Well, we figure out why we remember that we have the slab. Deadpulse onto the earth floor. The real tail of the tape is going to be that seafloor with those crack lobsters.
Oh, just thinking about that gives me nightmares.
Because the black belt's got good MDef.
Ooh, Lich with rub, and down goes our meat shields.
And that's with a extra 20 MDef on that. But his thieves were just decoration. They never had levels really on them. So.
Glorified hood ornaments.
All right, but now this is essentially like man mode time for Deadpulse. I know man mode's typically solo light warrior, but this is a very fragile party. Those Agament, like every punch that's 80 damage. That's 3 heal pots. You know.
I would like to point out to the chat that there's a thief on both teams named Nightmare Phoenix. So
Carry 2 opens with nuclear and near max rolls the black belt. We get the fast off, 11 hits, 12 floor, so that's 11 more heal pots we got to drink for the black belt, and however many more we had to put on the black mage as well.
You hate to see it. That's not fun.
Calling out the absorb on the black mage. Black mage rocking a pro cape +3, gold +4, a pro ring +4, and a ribbon +4. So black mage a little chunky, and Daryn going for the cheeky rub on carry 1 didn't work. Carry responds with a fire 2. 6 hits 2, and there's thunder
under
1. And there's the stone poison. So far so good for Deadpulse, but literally the first step off the stairs was that seafood party pack. Doesn't feel great. And a miss mini there from Daryn as he fasts the sleeping black belt, or thief rather.
He's fast asleep.
So Daryn lights his fire orb with a 1 hour 30-minute mark. Has to go to Lefane. That has to be the next play that he makes.
Well, first, quick trip to Melman. I had to get there before someone else in chat stole that from me.
It's fair. I mean, I could have swore he had translated his slab before, but I guess he did never come back here after Sea Shrine. So,
ooh, Kraken 2 went down in one punch, fasted black belt.
So, yeah, I thought Daryn had done this. So Daryn now going to head to Lefane, going to get his loot.
I really hope he translated it. I don't recall.
Oh boy!
So this is going to be such a walk of shame.
Tia 2 on approach. We're going to fast and bonk. See what TO2 does. It opens with Fire 2. That's a free spell off the Chaos script now. So Ice 3. It's a little scarier. Tempers come out. Here's a double tempered, and there's a huge punch. 9 hits, almost 1200 damage. Tia targeting that black mage. That could have been a problem, but as pointed out by chat.
Oh, Daryn.
Loopa.
Daryn does the litmus test and finds out he did not translate, and now he has to walk back. Fortunately, it's just a quick reset back.
Yeah, but
check started on the way.
Yep. So, this is going to slow Daryn down because now we looped, we want to hope that it's not infect.
And he doesn't know that it's behind the slab, so he's like, maybe it's the herb turn in, so he's gonna go do that.
And Chaos opens with slow 2. It hits the black mage, so we're tempering, and we already got a decent punch off for 400 damage. So there's 10 hits for 1195. If Chaos has fast, and we have no evasion that we're using, tempers come out. 9 hits, 1163. So Deadpulse 3 rounds chaos. Wraps it up. Let's see what the official race down time was with a 1 hour, 32 minutes, 20 seconds. Deadpulse takes the first win in the Chimera pod. So get those GGs in chat for Deadpulse. We're
Wow.
going to see if he wants to come join us for an interview.
I'm really impressed. That was a great recovery, and going down to that win, that was amazing.
Yeah. Daryn played a heck of a seed, and it's just unfortunate that the floater was required. Because I think if this had been floaterless, if it had just been like the loot in that Banesword box, it's a different race.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's coulda, woulda, shoulda, and Daryn hopefully will learn from this, and as he moves on with the rest of the spring tournament, and because he did a heck of a job here, really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's strong all the way up to the halfway game.
And Deadpulse sneak into the booth. GG's, buddy.
Where is DVS? I need to have some words.
Hey, you guys asked for this mess.
Well, somebody did.
The early game for the two of you couldn't have been more different, and Daryn did not struggle anywhere as much as you did, as Daryn made the cheeky Matoya check early and had that Thor Hammer and sort of enabled him to sort of get through the early game encounters a little more smoothly than you did. So what was going through your mind? You get the ship and canal early, marsh and ice still on the table. Where was your head at?
My head was to clear out the inner sea. It's a superstition that I have because it seems like every time you get ship and canal early, the floater ends up in one of the two. And I said, not today. And it was. So did he end up going to Ice Cave, or did he get out?
You guys were in Marsh at the same time. After Marsh, when you were going to Ice Cave, he left and went to Earth Cave and started checking spike tiles. And then he went to Mirage Desert and found sandworms off the hard reset as the second encounter. And took that to like mid-20s. And I thought it was in a good spot, but then he really hasn't taken a whole lot of fights since then, and that black belt's still not level 30. So kind of stalled out on that secondary grind for the black belt, but it was setting up to be a very interesting race, depending on where that loot landed.
There were a lot of grinds that were in the, on a scale of 1 to 10, they were 3. And that sandworm off the second hard reset, just
And Daryn finds Blaze on Lich 1. Luckily survives and is going to light his 4th orb here. Still has to make the walk of shame back to Lefane after looping. Man. So, was it ever, with the two thieves that were forced upon you, was it ever a plan to use them more than as a meat shield?
My problem with what happened is I just kind of let the chips fall where they lie. What I would have liked to do is still had a thief when I went into, Ice Cave, so that I might be able to run from things. But I just said, you know what, they're dead. That's out of my hands.
Yeah, and Daryn getting distracted by this fetch quest, which will just get him his tail, and the final bad news that he's got to walk back to Lefane. Daryn, after and I think it's probably why his black belt never really got any more levels, as you see he's level 28 now, brought everyone up and has sort of kept both of the thieves in slot 1 and 2, and it has given him an advantage in some fights, like where we saw you were both checking the northwest tiles at the same time, and where you were just getting like praying for turn order against those whiz vamps and zombie Ds. Daryn was getting turn order on them because like he wasn't getting ambushed, so he would just be able to pop in and out, and with the thieves up front. So it was, I was curious to see if it was going to pay out more for him to keep them up, but it's unfortunately didn't really benefit him as much.
Well, yeah, I think the grind that paid off for me the most was actually the hard reset going into Waterfall, being able to take out those nightmares and then the Gasty. I almost thought about taking that to 32, but I'm like, this isn't a great grind. It's taking a lot of time. I might find a grind tile later. Spoiler, I didn't.
Well, I mean, there were the worms.
Oh yeah.
There were the worms.
If I were level 42 and wanted to grind to 50, I'd go back there.
Nightmare Phoenix, you got any questions for our winner tonight, Deadpulse?
Man, I wish I did. Caleb, you kind of took them all right out of my mind the second I thought of them. The next
man.
How about those worms? Hey, how was that zombie wizard vampire?
I'm so sorry, man.
It's okay.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let Nightmare ask some questions. Oh, bad.
How did you, Deadpulse? How did you like the way that all your fetch quests kind of laid out? Was that
I just, at the point when I realized, all right, loot, it's a 50-50 gamble whether or not I go to Sky or Sea, and I was just nervous going into Sea at any given point. And that was confirmed by the lobsters with crack.
Yeah, those lobsters with crack definitely were terrifying. And I saw you going in, and just at that time Daryn was I forget where Daryn was, but it felt like if this had turned into a floaterless seed, he was well and ahead. And when the slab got pulled out of sea, we started, kind of cursing the seed a little bit by thinking, well, it's either the loot's either going to be just sitting in a box in Mirage, or it's behind the bottle or behind the slab. And when he didn't pull that up, it really leveled the field. And it looks like. Okay, I was like, it looks like the screen went black for a second.
Yep.
So yeah, that was insane. Did you were you hoping to find more ribbons in Sky when you were checking?
I mean, I would have taken them, obviously, but that really wasn't. I was trying to fish the defense, and I was doing all right, I'm going to check, my favorite 4 chests in Sky. But other than that, if I was going to be able to get through it, it was because Chaos's Absorb wasn't max. Mm-hmm. So I just said, you know what, I'm level 40, let's do this.
And that turned out to be the right play. I don't have really any more questions now. That was the one other question I had in the back of my mind, but I buried it so deep so Caleb wouldn't get it. I had to walk through a couple paragraphs of script to get there.
Doing great, Nightmare Phoenix. Keep up the good work.
I'm trying.
You know what? I'll let you can call the rest of Daryn's Topher. So
oh, goody. Now the pressure's on. Thanks.
Behind the scenes stuff. You get your practice.
Well, we're headed back up. Or back down, rather. And
which floor?
It's taking some more grinds, trying to get some more levels, which isn't a horrible idea, especially because I think this is his second attempt. Maybe first. He did hit the validation chest. There was Dragon 3 in it.
Yeah, he's getting ready to hit the Earth floor here once he gets through these the Chimera. The pod enemy.
How about that? Well, he does have the white shirt and the defense sword, so he's got the defense to get through.
So, Deadpulse, walk me through your Ordeal dive. You find the bunk in the link chest. Take it from there.
All right, so I was bracing for the fact that I wasn't going to hit 42. And if I'm not going to hit 42 on the black belt, I want that bonk, specifically for Chaos and Tiamat. Once I saw that, I thought about resetting, but I'm like, nope, I got to check the 2 spike tiles just in case we get something good. We get multiple Agamas because I've got Ice 3, just something that I can get the next 5 levels with.
You know what you walked past though, right?
So I missed a couple of chests in there because I decided to not pick them up. Please don't tell me that the defense was in there.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner.
Do you want me to tell you where the defense sword was, or do you want me to tell you that it wasn't there?
So was it literally the chest above the chest I checked?
It was in the 4, I think, at the bottom.
Yeah, it was in the second from the left.
Listen, there were spiders all over those chests. I'm not going to check them.
It was, we all thought you picked it up, but you blink and you miss it. And, yeah, I was so intrigued with what Daryn was doing. How'd you feel about your chaos fight?
I did an audible pause at the slow 2, and I'm like, good, that didn't hit my black belt. 50-50 wins. I mean, not that I didn't have fast. I could, fast up again, but it's just I don't want to lose that turn.
That was quite clutch. The fact that you didn't have to double up your fast again, it definitely shortened it. And then chaos went down super quick to your black belt, which is more than I can say for this Lich fight. It is lagging.
Demon help. So we're gonna wait down to Carrie. Already on to Agamas.
And
okay.
Wow, Agamas.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
man, Lich is taking a little bit. He's taking a while to go down, and then suddenly Agamas. Which apparently we all know that Lich is just 4 Agamas in a trench coat. He's keeping everyone pretty healthy, which is quite the opposite strat that Deadpulse had. Which means there's a chance he can run away from things, but he's still trying to squeeze a couple more levels out of this floor before he runs into Kraken 2, who we did not get to see much of what he had.
Yeah, you one round Kraken, right?
Turn order, first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, oh look, it's Kraken, and he's gone.
Listen, I beat up unsuspecting fish monsters all the time.
There was some gross fish monsters to see. Do you want to talk about those Caribs?
Oh.
There's nothing that made me feel good. Like, starting out at the beginning when I failed to rub Garland with my 2 tries. I'm like, oh, this is what I'm in for.
And now that we're approaching the dreaded lobster floor, as it is currently known because of the lobsters peddling some earth-shattering forces on unsuspecting thieves.
I mean, it's sort of ironic that the lobsters have crack, because typically when you go to a restaurant, you want to crack open the lobsters. So
yeah, and it's also coincidental they're on the same floor with Kraken. So
yeah, it's the lobsters full of that. I learned it from watching you. Mentality.
That's called foreshadowing right there.
Now, are we going to get a Brack strat out of the Black Mage, or are we just going to go for a straight punch? And it looks like straight punching.
So, Deadpulse, with your timing on these flags, with 132, when it's like an hour and there's not a whole lot of orbs lit and like a whole lot of progress being felt, where was your brain at?
So I calmed down once I pulled the floater out of ice, and I made a guess. You know what? Ice was a dangerous play. Daryn might not go there. And I felt ahead until about the 1 hour mark when I'm like, yeah, I still haven't really done a grind or found one or have any orbs lit. Like, I should probably get on that.
Oh. Well, Kraken doesn't have anything horrifying. Some thunder, some really strong punches, but that's what we come to expect from Kraken. Ink, that's
a free round.
Yeah. But health-wise, we're not looking too hot. Am I wrong? Did Daryn not pick up Nuke?
No, I don't think Daryn checked level 7 Gaia magic. But we're through, so... And we're almost level 32, so we might hit 32 before we get to Chaos, which would be pretty neat.
Unfortunately, we are fresh out of bodies in the way of Chaos. Let's see if T is going to play nice. Moving the black belt up top, hopefully to just kind of shrug off some of the hits. Keep the black mage alive long enough to do his job against Chaos.
Right, defense sword works. 2 is 92 damage.
Yeah, that Tiamat had a really high absorb.
And
Ooh, lock 2.
I like the lock 2 strats. 7 hits for 112. We're gonna need some more bonks. Love to see some more defense swords too. Leaning into the punches.
Wow.
11 hits, 722.
4 crits on that, and then an ice 3.
Bless your heart for being able to read how many crits that was.
I'm shocked that I got that.
Up and so fast. Daryn through. Chaos, we didn't see anything. I mean, slow 2 is pretty scary, so we'll see how Daryn prepares for this fight. Alright. No encounters. I hope we're gonna take in the victory lap. You earned it, buddy.
Ah. That is not a victory lap I'm familiar with.
That's the medium sized one. The Daewoo victory laps, you just like walk around the whole perimeter of the whole room.
Ah, okay. The one I'm more familiar is oh
no, and we didn't move our Light Warriors running slow 2 lands, so we're gonna have to cast another round of fast. And
Chaos
Black
just drops the black mage.
Is punished for fasting that black belt, undoing Chaos's hard work.
Chaos is like, guess what? I have fast too.
8 hits for 272, 9 hits for 396. If we get Chaos to settle into a punchy bit, we'll be okay. 8 hits, 306. We're about close to 1,000 damage in. 6 hits, 295, 1,300. There's Zap.
Zap. Oof.
I hope we move the ribbon.
I don't. He might have. I think I saw him briefly touch the armor.
We do not have a whole lot of MDef here, and if that slow 2 comes back around, we need Chaos to keep punching, because that slow 2 will devastate us.
Lightning 3. That didn't hurt too much, so we're almost there. Oh, there's a nuke. That's
not good. And there it is.
On. GG's for
GG's. Daryn, get those GG's in chat. Daryn with an official Racetown time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, 22 seconds. A well-run race. GG, Daryn. And we got Daryn in the booth, so well done, man.
GG,
that was everything I was hoping for and more. I just wish that I had in the last location the loot.
Yeah, that was what we were hoping that, because Deadpulse was in Mirage a couple floors ahead of you, and he had already had the floater, but like we were hoping that it was just loot in a box and not the bottle or anything, or the ruby, because we still hadn't seen that either. We were hoping to find loot so we could see you run this floaterless and Deadpulse complete it with the floater, because it would have been a much tighter race at that point. But unfortunately, there was a lot to get distracted by after getting the floater, like the tail quest from Sarda that sort of took you all over. And yeah, but all the same, Daryn, you raced a heck of a race, and it was really up for grabs until Deadpulse started blowing through Topher with his black belt. So, but even then, like with no white magic in this party, it could have been anyone's race, and you did have a defense sword that he didn't. So it was a lot of fun to watch. How did it feel running through that early game with that nightmare magic and scripts everywhere?
It wasn't too bad. I couldn't figure out where to go, and then I think I went Marsh, and then I knew, like, I had Canal, so I was going to check Crescent, and I wanted to check some of the random stuff, but finding the sandwiches in Mirage felt amazing until I realized that I'd been grinding for 15 minutes and ran out of cabins and was only at level 28 and had to just keep going.
I'm going to let Nightmare ask all the questions now because I totally took over the conversation with Deadpulse, and I almost did it again with you, Daryn, but GG's, buddy.
Daryn, that was amazing fun to watch. That early grind you took with the sandwiches really gave you a very, very strong lead. A quick question: why did you avoid ice for so long and spend most of your time outside of the inner sea?
I knew that I hadn't done it, but by the time that I was done with like Oxial and all of that stuff, and I knew that I could take Sky, so I was just going to take Sky right away. Anytime that I don't have Floater and I'm doing the Southern Continent, I just figure that it's a floaterless seed and I'm going to just keep going. I almost went and did Volcano on the way to Ice, but I was like, no. I think by that point I knew that it had to be in Ice, so I just had to go get the Floater, but I was really hoping that Sky was going to have my loot.
Oh, it's us two in the booth. We and chat, we were all just praying for that jingle, or as it was on Deadpulse's side, in the Mirage or even up in Sky. Unfortunately, the RNG didn't play nice with us today, but we did see the white shirt and the power bonk and the defender, all of which you were able to find and use. Oh boy, the ribbon in Ice was one of the biggest things that I'm like, man, I wish you would just go to Ice so we can at least get one ribbon.
It was the only one we saw.
It was the only one. It was a heartache to see you just dance around it with what we knew. But the path you took was amazing and very strong, and I am very impressed. And I hope to be able to do something like that in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that one was fun. I love floaterless seeds. I don't get to see them enough. But I was so glad to see that ribbon because I knew I was going to go whether I found one or not, but I was going to check a whole lot more chests. And at that point, I knew that I wasn't going to get above 32 with my black belt if I was going to have a chance of winning. So I just checked my absorb with the gold bracelet and I threw the ribbon right on my black belt because I knew that if I didn't have a black belt alive, I wasn't going to win because I didn't have nuke. I didn't have anything for the black mage. And I think I was finally swinging a dragon +3 sword for my thieves. So they did a little bit of damage sometimes.
It was, to your credit, Daryn, one thing that you did the Deadpulse didn't do, and the Deadpulse, you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I just missed it. You found that Ice -1 sword, and you put it on the Black Mage, and that really sort of helped you get your grind off the ground with those sandwiches. So
yeah, I
heads
knew
up play there.
early. I knew early that I needed that extra. I needed 2 people. And I wasn't going to have enough houses to do it with just magic, so that was like when I was really happy that we had the fighter swords.
So this question will be for the both of you. When we saw the blessings on the Forced Party with the Black Mage fighter swords, the thieves with extra MDef, and the black belt with extra strength, at first blush those feel like meaningless bonuses almost. What was going through your mind? We'll start with Daryn when you saw those bonuses.
I think I thanked DVS for rolling this seed because it was exactly that. Those blessings and everything was exactly what I wanted from everything that I could get, or from everything we could see. Because I wanted Deadpulse to have something to make him think, and I was hoping that was going to be foretelling for the rest of the seed.
How about you, Deadpulse? How did you react when you saw those blessings?
I enjoy having strength on the black belt just because if you can just buy like a weapon, that extra strength really helps for the first 12 levels. But after not finding one, it's just eh.
And I think Daryn, in the early sandworm grind, you were working with like nunchucks on that black belt.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 gold for iron +1 or something, and I was at level 7 when I started grinding, so I was glad I had it.
I had one more question, but I forgot it. Nightmare, you got anything else for our runners tonight?
Cool. Quick stalling tactics.
Yeah,
What
while
did
I
you say
keep
was
thinking.
Daryn, we saw you doing those sandworms, and while good for XP and an early grind, not so great for money. What was your thoughts about that? Because like immediately afterwards, we saw you go and try to buy some gold Cheerios over there, but it couldn't get as many as you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as worried about the money, and I knew that I'd have enough to get at least one, but Canario was the closest town that I knew had something good. I could have gone to Provoca, which is probably a little bit closer, but when you have gold bracelets, I might as well go there, because I was debating about going back and just clearing Sky right away, but I decided to go the safer route and do Ordeals, because I knew that Deadpulse had already done Ordeals by that point. I figured level 3, if you have a canal and a ship, Deadpulse was heading to Ordeals.
What if I told you Deadpulse didn't go to Ordeals until like the hour mark?
I would be flabbergasted. That means that I probably did it first.
You did, and I was Deadpulse. I feel like you gave us all a rope-a-dope. You keep talking in the Discord about how you love the early Ordeals play, and it's always been good to you.
I told you
tonight
why I didn't go there, because I said, okay, I haven't done Ice Cave. It probably has the floater, and I don't want to be in that position where I'm the only one who doesn't have the floater.
Fine. I need to get better at like seed, like tea leaf reading, because I'm all over the place with my practices. I remembered my question, so thank you so much, Nightmare Phoenix, for leaning into my stalling tactics.
You're welcome.
Who asked Davis to roll this seed?
I did.
Nice.
I was going to say, I know the answer to that one.
I didn't know that it was Daryn. I just know that somebody in this group asked Davis to roll the seed, and awesome. And you got everything you wanted out of it, so
I'm pretty sure that I did. It might have been last night or the other day, because I don't know. I've been looking for hard seeds just because I knew that Deadpulse is a heck of a runner, and I was probably going to get blown out, especially when we've been practicing against each other all week, and I've been blown out all week long.
Well, I wouldn't chalk this one up to being a blowout at all. Like, you definitely held your own for the majority of this race. It just happened to be that early ice dive for Deadpulse that panned out for him. Because in other seeds, that could have just been the Ruby down there, and and then it's just a big advantage for you, Daryn. But unfortunately, the floater was down there and sort of let Davis or Deadpool start catching up with the maneuverability over the overworld. So, but don't beat yourself up too much. You raced a heck of a race, and it was a lot of fun to watch and do comms with you, Nightmare Phoenix. I guess we'll pass it around for final thoughts, and we'll get out of here. We'll get RPG Limit Break back their channel. Deadpulse, the first win of the Chimera Pod. Final thoughts, man.
That was a difficult seed, and it was probably more difficult to watch than to play. I know there were a couple of mistakes that I made in there that I hope that I learned from, but I can't give Daryn enough credit with regards to playing this seed. It was a nightmare, and the whole thing felt bad. And like, I just have to thank him for enjoying, like, because I love these seeds too. But this was a treat. I hope we put on a good show, and thanks to everyone behind the scenes. I know this this couldn't have been fun.
It was a lot of fun. Daryn, you took a loss here, but still good chance to make the brackets for the round of 64. Final thoughts, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'll take those seeds any day, every day. So thanks to DVS for rolling it. Thank you to you guys. I hope that my characters did you all justice with the tracking team, and Deadpulse got the final blow probably on both streams. So glad to see that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't checked out the randomizer, definitely check out the Discord. There's tons of people in there that'll help you get started and help you get going and teach you the ways of Final Fantasy Randomizer.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in joining the community, you never played this game, like darindrise said, there is a link to the Discord there in the chat. You could also find it at finalfantasyrandomizer.com. If you're new to learning about Final Fantasy Randomizer, the Duckling Boot Camp will be kicking off in just a few weeks. I believe in less than a month. So if you want to be the next Deadpulse, there's your opportunity to come in, learn the game, over the course of 8 weeks, get some practice seeds, learn different aspects of how the races are ran, and get your feet wet and be like Nightmare Phoenix and darindrise and Deadpulse. All these folks coming out of the Duckling program shadowed our tracker. Big shout out, thanks to you. Nightmare, you want to take us home?
Oh no. Oh dear.
Take us home.
Okay.
Chicken.
I just want to thank both of you. This was my first time commentating in the booth, and I thank you for giving me an awesome race to commentate over. With that said, I think we are going to get ready to raid Random Mania 1. We got Grandy versus Fiend of Possession here soon, and they're also going to be doing the Spring Tournament 2021. So get ready for that. Whenever we're ready, I hope everyone has a wonderful night.